The armor, Jeremy's armor was like 100 pounds, like not exaggerating. It was negative 30.
Oh my gosh.
The stunts alone, if we brought somebody to be his stunt double, would have been more than like we had not pennies, but like we had such a limited budget to do everything that the only person that could physically actually do it is Jeremy. So I don't know if you could have casted someone to go through the hell that Kristen and Jeremy went through to make this film.
Hey everyone, it's David Stark from Watcher Pass, and I'm talking to Matthew Ninaber, Jeremy Ninaber, and Kristen Kaster about A Knight's War, which is coming to theaters on February 7th, 2025, and VOD on February 11th, 2025. I'm going to talk to them right now, and while you're watching, if you can like and subscribe to this channel, that would be fantastic. Also, a lot. Thank you. Thanks so much for joining me today. I've got Matthew Ninaber, Jeremy Ninaber, and Kristen Kaster talking about A Knight's War, which is coming to select theaters on February 7th, 2025, and VOD on February 11th, 2025. It is an indie, like fantasy action film that feels a little Dark Soul-esque, but it has a really great setting, some really good production values, and some fun action. I enjoyed this a lot more than I expected to, so I'm very excited to talk to you, and thanks so much for joining me.
Awesome.
Oh, wonderful
Glad
here.
to hear that.
So first question, Matt, you are listed as the writer, but and then in the credits it says Matt and Jeremy. So I'm not sure who like wrote this, but what inspired this movie, and what video game were you playing that made you want to write this out?
I think it was a Matt Damon Ben Affleck collaboration. Matt was Matt Damon.
So,
I mean, yeah,
yeah,
Jeremy,
no.
you do look a little bit more Ben Affleck-esque, a little bit bigger, a little bit,
No, this has been a movie that Jeremy and I have been playing around with for a long time. It's a combination of so many different like inspirations.
hmm
Elden Ring we were playing probably a lot when we were thinking about this movie, but like this is Conan, Barbarian, Red Sonja. Like there's so many references in this movie that we kind of just like grab from. But at the end of the day, I think we've been sword fighting and making this movie in our heads since like high school. So
Yeah.
it's like it's just been something that we've always wanted to do, and I've always been really scared of because it's a huge undertaking, and it's massive, and we knew it was going to be massive. So it was kind of like, all right, here we go, jump
hmm
off.
Yeah, I got like an Edge of Tomorrow aspect of it as well at parts, which I
Yeah,
really
Good.
loved.
Yes.
yeah.
But basically, you're saying like you've been training for this for years. Your blood is literally probably in this movie from
It's
from all
it's in the
that training.
sets, it's
Yeah.
everywhere. So
No, when we were kids, yeah, watching Conan the Barbarian, like we grew up on Braveheart. So we said one day, like we wanted to make something that was
yeah,
kind of like our take on like a Witcher vibe kind of medieval movie.
yeah.
Very nice, very awesome. And so like I guess Jeremy, you were you always in mind to play Bodhi? Was that kind of how this was always going to work, or is that just something that developed as you were developing this and trying to figure out how you're going to make something of this scale with, I assume, an indie budget?
Yeah, I think part it was kind of like when we decided to make it, we're just like, okay, we can't practically it'd be harder to get other people because we just knew that this would be when we're casting for it, like whoever has to be Bodhi and Avalon, they got to be able to do this.
The armor, Jeremy's armor was like 100 pounds, like not exaggerating. It was negative 30.
Oh my gosh.
The stunts alone, if we brought somebody to be his stunt double, would have been more than like we had not pennies, but like we had such a limited budget to do everything that the only person that could physically actually do it is Jeremy. So I don't know if you could have casted someone to go through the hell that Kristen and Jeremy went through to make this film.
And that was actually one of the reasons we grabbed Kristen when we worked with her on a movie before, and she ran through a hallway in just a t-shirt covered in blood, and it turned minus 17, and
Oh
there's
my
no
God.
heat in this facility, and she minus 17, and so we thought she sucked it up, did a whole day, and we thought, I'm like, okay, she's willing to suck it up in the cold. She's a
Yeah.
great actress. She could probably do Avalon.
So
She
So
can
yeah, I
handle the
think
pain.
yeah, because like we knew we were going to end up like there's the one scene that's on an Arctic lake, and it's so like the wind just rips you apart. And we had people dropping like flies trying to film that scene. So luckily, Jeremy and Kristen were able to do it. So again, I don't think you could have casted somebody and for them to make it through the film. I don't think that would have been
yeah,
possible.
and how do you do that? Like, do you go and get someone who you need a good actor, but then you have to get them to go in minus 30 and be like, wear all this armor. When we did the fitting for this, I couldn't wear the armor for more than an hour. I had to work up to it. I was in it for an hour, and I just said to Matt, I'm like, I don't think I can make a movie in this. Like it's just it cramps your shoulders and your back, and I'm just like I literally had to work out to be able to do this role. I couldn't believe it, like because you need the muscle strength. It was just so much weight on your shoulders.
And maybe take some supplements too to kind of help. You know? So, Kristen, when they were pitching you on this, did they say specifically like, "Hey, we're gonna film in some horrible environments. We think you'd be perfect." Like, how did you get involved, and what was it about Avalon that really appealed to you?
Um, I'm not sure if I completely remember Matt and being fully transparent about the elements and everything we would be doing,
It's
but
sort of still playing it. We don't know exactly what's gonna happen.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like we might do this, it might be hard, but of a very competitive nature, and so do they. And I did not want to, like back down just because it was going to be quote unquote hard. But then, getting into the film, it was pretty hard at times. So we definitely were challenged in like both physically and mentally, I think, throughout the film, through like wearing the armor and being outside in, negative 30-degree weather, all day long. And so, but at the same time, I was so drawn to Avalon's character from the beginning when I read the script. I like immediately, I think I responded to Matt and Jeremy, and I was like, I'm in. When do we start filming? I was so excited to play, a strong female character and like go on that journey with her.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was a fun pairing. It was fun to see like how your different characters interacted. Now, Jeremy said that he had to like bulk up to, wear the armor and fit in this. Did you have to do any training, any physical exercise to get ready to play Avalon? You're just always ready. You're always strong enough to carry probably 40 pounds of armor. Not probably not 100 pounds, but
Yeah, no, always ready, but no, I mean, there's definitely some training involved for sure. Definitely lots of time spent in the gym and also a lot of like fight choreography and time just honestly like holding the sword and playing around with the sword and doing different movements and like going through choreography in videos and just learning how to handle the sword and also like build up those muscles to fight because it was a full day of fighting, if not more. There was, I mean, a couple days, but we did the fight scenes. So yeah, there was definitely quite a bit of physical like, training that went into it.
this sounds like my teenage dream. Like this is what I was like dreaming of doing when I was growing up. This sounds amazing.
No, exactly.
And Jeremy, you stepped in. You were the fight choreographer too, right? You did the
Yeah.
choreography for this. So, like, how many hats were you all wearing in this movie? And how did you choreograph all these different fights?
Again, yeah, that's like the one of the things like when we have someone on set, you got to wear many hats. So our mom, when she was young, she put us into karate. Like Matt and I grew up doing a bit of BJJ, a couple other mixed martial arts, Krav Maga, and then sword fighting. We started getting sword practice swords. I think when we weren't even 9 or 10, we started getting those and playing around the backyard, and then slowly watching some medieval actual knights who can actually what they call treaties, where they actually show you proper technique for sword play. So then started coordinating some of those together. But then when you're making a movie with sword fighting, you quickly find out that you can't do like true authentic techniques in sword fighting. Like it was very
I think, yeah, like we did a lot of the choreography without the armor on, and then as soon as they put the armor on, it's just like, oh wow, we can't do half these moves, and you had to really adjust
yes, you have to
so
adjust.
many things. So like make it
Yeah,
simple.
so
Yeah.
there's like the practical, and then we also wanted what you could actually, looked good on camera. So it was a bit of balance of both. But yeah, it was different going from practicing it in a big gymnasium and then putting the, 100 pounds of armor on, trying to flesh it out.
Yeah, for sure. This movie kind of starts with someone getting stabbed. I'm curious, you brothers or you, Kristen, have you ever been stabbed by a sibling or someone that you trusted?
I got stabbed actually 2 years ago at a Christmas party.
Oh
We
God.
have this family get together, and it got really competitive, and we're using chopsticks to pick up M&Ms, and I knocked it out of my brother-in-law's hand, his M&M, and he took his chopstick and stabbed it into me.
Oh
Anyways,
wow.
he's a little competitive. It went right into my upper like neck, and went right through my shirt. So that was the last time I got stabbed. It was a Christmas party.
I've not been stabbed,
Holidays.
so yeah.
Okay. All
Neither
right.
one.
Charmed lives you live. And the last question, I know we have to wrap soon. This movie is about your characters collecting, valuable or precious stones. What is the most valuable stone that you all have? It could be a ring. It could be some other stone. Is there anything that people would kill you for to get?
I
We
got a sick rock collection.
Well, we also have we actually have a family crest that was actually passed down from generations that an actual Indonesian royalty made for the Ninaber clan. So we actually have that, and we got a little mold, and we're going to eventually make it for all of our kids. So yeah, that's the fun thing with the Ninabers. They've got Indonesian royalty in their blood.
That's
Wow,
pretty awesome.
that
Still
is
going with my rock collection, but anyway.
Chris, what about you? Any valuable stones or I guess valuable cherished heirlooms that you would use to open a portal out of hell?
Oh boy. No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but you're inspiring me to get something now to pass along.
2025, everyone's got to have a goal other than just survive. 2025 could be get something valuable to pass down. So, you can see this choreography. You can see these horrible filming conditions that look beautiful. I mean, this film has. I love that it like punched above its weight. I love when an indie film looks like the production values are so much better than they are. I really was impressed by kind of how this film opened and everything about it. You can see all of that in A Night's War, which comes to select theaters on February 7th, 2025, and VOD on February 11th, 2025. There's Matt Ninaber, Jeremy Ninaber, and Kristen Kaster. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, David.
That was Matthew Ninaber, Jeremy Ninaber, and Kristen Kaster talking about A Night's War, which comes to theaters on February 7th, 2025, and VOD on February 11th, 2025. It is an indie action film that feels a little Dark Souls-esque, but it has a really great setting, some really good cinematography, and some fun action. I enjoyed this a lot more than I expected to, so I definitely think you should check it out. And if you like this interview, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.